If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down. Hopefully not literally. Sir?
Phrasing?
And hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are now at the final day of our trial of episode 3, Turnabout Samurai. We're gonna find out who did it. It's now leaning towards DeeVa, isn't it? She has a lot of connections and info. October 20th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for the case. He claims that the scene of the crime was in fact Studio 2. Today, I will call on people present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies...
And there was much rejoicing.
Thank you for the follow! From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls Miss DeeVa to the stand. Miss DeeVa is a producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. She's so sauce. She tried to get the mafia to murder me. Will the witness state her name and occupation? DeeVa. I am a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes? I dislike needless banter. If you must pontificate, do it when I'm not here. And she takes no shits from anyone. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay. Oh, look, Maya's here today instead of, Mia. Mia's always about that presentation, isn't she? Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. Hopefully not literally. Sir?
Phrasing?
Watch what you say, good sir. The day of the murder. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at noon sharp and ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. But you couldn't have gone there, or maybe you could because it was there until 4. When was the body found? No one's ever answered that. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I T-boned steaks on the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later when we all went to Studio 1. Okay, so if that's Sal Manella on the right side of the screen, who's on the left side? Is that the kind of thing that that Dee would wear? That's the real question. That's all. I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you. The van. There's a van at Studio 2. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk. What with that monkey's head toppling over. Manella used this van to drive Vasquez to Studio 1 after the meeting in the trailer. When you said that the head was tipping over, you mean that because the head should have been blocking the path, right? It was completely removed from the rest of the body. What do you mean tipping over? I don't believe anything this woman says. She's a fraud and a liar, and I'm gonna get her in the act. Well, it's too late for that, isn't it? Never mind. I see. Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. So far, pressing has never counted against me, but if I present evidence at the wrong time, then it does count against me. So I can press freely and it doesn't really matter that much. I enter the trailer, a little before noon. By yourself? Yes. And you didn't stop in the employee area? No. Are you always this terse? Yes. Oh dear. The meeting began at noon sharp. It ended at 4. But you took a break. Did no one leave during the meeting? No one. Come on, let's talk a bit more about that. The witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. The same could be said to you, Mr. Edgeworth. And please stop banging on your little desk. It hurts my ears. You think those giant earrings you have, those aren't hurting your ears? That seems like a lot of extra weight. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. When? And when exactly was that? I've forgotten. Oh, that's convenient, isn't it? Very sus. Maybe you could try remembering? No. She doesn't care. The meeting ended at 4 and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. I would think it was between those times. You would think? Come on, all you did was state the obvious, Edgeworth. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. Hold on. You had Sal take you? What does that mean? It means what I just said. I had Sal take me in the Studio 2 van. Oh, right. You know what I'm thinking? That there was a dead body on their hands outside Studio 2, and they decided to put the dead body in the van, transport it to Studio 1, and be like, oh no, we found a body in Studio 1, you bunch of liars! They were obviously using the van to transport the dead body. Like, seriously? We're just gonna overlook that? Oh, right. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. How about if we... Should I press or should I just present? I mean, this is obviously... Like, look at this. This evidence clearly reveals a contradiction in that statement, Your Honor. No, it doesn't. Not with the way this is going. How is that not related? They took a break at 2:30. And the murder happened at 2:30. And it's supposed to be proven, not proven exactly, but the strong suspicion is that Hammer was killed outside of Studio 2. How is this not relevant evidence? I hate when I present evidence and it starts with that sentence, because obviously it's not the right thing. I don't think that won me any points with the judge. Oh boy. 2-minute break in the meeting. Alright, let's press instead. And what were you doing during that time? Don't hit your desk. It irritates me. Yeah, Mr. Wright? Oops. It was a 15-minute break. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal. No, I mean someone else. One person is enough. Not really. The thing is, right? Because there was a meeting of those two, plus what looks like 3 other people, the bigwigs. Because there were 5 chairs set up. We know who 2 of those chairs were. Who were the other people? Why aren't they involved in this case? Why haven't we talked to the bigwigs yet? One person is enough. If she committed murder during that break, she wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. If I had some evidence that proved that she didn't eat that steak. Well, Nick, find anything? I kind of wish she said a little more. It's hard. I think she's pretty used to being the boss. But I'm sure you'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said. Somewhere. I entered the trailer a little before noon. So it's starting over. Okay. Well, let's look at the evidence that we have. Of death. It's pierced through the chest by a spear. Powers photo, dragging one leg. It doesn't explain this part though, does it? Well, actually, no, because if it was Hammer inside of that suit and he knew about the leg injury... Murder weapon, a break in the shaft has been mended with duct tape. Blocked the path to the scene of the crime between 2:15 and 4. Involving jackhammer. Let's take a look at this again. So this is from 5 years ago. So I did take note. What's that on the bottom left, actually? Wait, why does that look like an axe? I just noticed that, too. So what or who is in the bottom right? And also, why is there an axe there? If you want to see the entire photo, that's what it looks like, but you're not missing that much. What's with the axe? Is there someone else in that photo? Is it just a paparazzi? Found on table in employee area bears jackhammer's fingerprints. Found in the employee area, on it are traces of sleeping pills and a large bone. Uses van to drive Vasquez to Studio 1 after the meeting in the trailer. So do we want to check that for blood, perhaps, maybe? I can't present anything here, I think. The meeting began at noon sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards. We went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. The thing is, right, so there were some plates outside that didn't have any bones of the steak left over. Did she have any of the sleeping pill laced steak, I wonder? But how would it have gotten all the way over there? At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. So why is she saying this kind of stuff out of order? There was to be a rehearsal after, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. In the employee area, on our traces of sleeping pills and a large bone. But that wasn't in the employee area. This was outside Studio 2. I still wonder why the Studio 2 plates didn't have bones on their steak left over. Sal and I T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. Well, how about this? I could present it here, but like, if this was the same day and you all had the same meal, where the hell are the bones? How about this? I'm gonna save scum, because I am an asshole like that. Save scum! And I'm gonna present the T-bone steak, because something about that doesn't seem right. Ha! As I thought. You claim you ate a T-bone steak. But I say you did not. What's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate. This plate was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright, need I remind you, it was a T-bone steak? Exactly my point. Remember, if you will. Miss Vasquez and Mr. Manella ate at a table outside the trailer. Yet there were no bones left on the plates. Exactly. Big brain moment. The plates were bare! Have we got them now? Mind blown. Miss Vasquez? Tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You ate the bone too? You ate a boneless steak? You didn't eat the steak. A boneless steak, I guess? Because I'm thinking she didn't eat the steak because she was busy murdering someone. You didn't eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere. Like that incinerator. I see. Then what was Miss Vasquez doing a break? I'm gonna say Miss V. You ate the bone too? I mean, that would be kind of impressive, not gonna lie. Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? Let's see. Meeting the Steel Samurai. Picking on Salmonella. She was meeting with the Steel Samurai. Order. Are you saying... Yes, Your Honor. As Miss Vasquez, Miss V, left the trailer to eat her steak. She ran into the Steel Samurai. And then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. Mr. Wright. I didn't say that. He said that on his own. Isn't that a little presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it? Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Oh shit, I'm gonna lose. I'm not very smart. Any day, V. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh yes, the samurai spear. But I can't present anything, right? Can I? Yeah, I can't present anything yet. Yes? I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? I think you could. Well, this is taking a turn, isn't it? I don't think she used the spear. I think that was just a cover. I think it was the same stake that was bent over. You remember seeing that stake from the flower bed thingy? Right? You couldn't, could you? I think you would have a great deal of difficulty using that weapon. Pretty much anyone would. Ha! You see? Yes. However, that has no bearing on this case. Meaning? The samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What? What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon. Do we present this now? What? Wrong, Mr. Wright. But I haven't said anything yet. I know you well enough by now to know when you're going to present the wrong evidence. Oh no! I can sense it too with my fey blood. Okay, I picked the wrong evidence. Enough with all the sensing. Right, okay, here's a real evidence, Your Honor. Proof that the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon. It has been mended with duct tape. So this isn't helpful information? Because what I'm thinking... So is that taped up then? I guess it is kind of taped up, isn't it? I guess it is the same spear. Prove that the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon. How would that even happen? Present? Present my proof, the so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that the spear was broken, that it broke during the morning action scene run-through. But someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who is wearing a thick costume with this through the chest? Order, order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence. I am the one testifying here, and I will be heard. She's a tough cookie. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was. How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon was used to kill Mr. Hammer? That's a good question. I can tell you. Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see this murder weapon then. I think it was the fence from before, wasn't it? Look at this photo.
Look at this photograph.
What is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing at the top of the stairs. Order, order! If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it. See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What? Are you saying... Yes. What happened 5 years ago has happened again. Mr. Wright, continue. It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Miss DeeVa meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer had done himself 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. She looks so evil. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die? 5 years ago? Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Oh, very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff. You deny what I say is true. Mr. Wright, let's say for the sake of argument that Hammer died at the trailer, as you say. That the body was found at Studio One, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio One and returned to the trailer all in the space of the 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes, from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio One and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? She had another way. What if she had another way to carry the body, other than with her own hands? I'm thinking the van. For instance? Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do that deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. Miss V, you carried the body to Studio One, and you used the studio van to do it. Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio One. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. Tired from dragging a body into the van? There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio One. Then before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume. But you couldn't have driven the body over, because the road was still blocked. Hold on, Wright. Don't forget, it was Sal Manella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? Of course he was. Of course, Sal Manella had to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Miss V could have done that all alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the Steel Samurai costume. They had to, because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss V, shall I continue? I love when the music stops. It's my favorite. No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose. You win. It was fun. I win? Everyone's silent. So, what happens next? Don't me. Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost? Something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean Dee Vasquez? So it was you. You killed Jack Hammer. Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did? Mr. Wright? We just engaged in a battle of wits. And the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right. But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? 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 Order. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Of course, it's as the witness says. Certainly it does seem very likely she did it, but there is no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Well? I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. Ugh, what do we do now? Testify again. I'd like you to testify again. Testify again? Know when to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before, the truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time. Damn. I've come so far only to fail. As it seems there are no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss V. Where is Edgeworth coming from? Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. I didn't. Edgeworth, you're slipping. I see very well. Your Honor, I request that the witness testify again. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Miss V repeat herself. What exactly did you want her to testify about? Well, yes, Indeed. Verily, I say, ergo? I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Nick! Why did Edgeworth... Who knows? He probably realized she did it too. But... Wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that, Edgeworth. Still going. I was with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. We immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. The security lady, Oldbag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay, Nick, we're close, real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. With Sal, Oldbag, and the security lady when we found the body. What time was that? We were to meet at 5 for the rehearsal, so I'd say it was then. When exactly did you and Mr. Manila arrive at the studio? About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies in the costumes, mind you. Where were the other employees when you got to the studio? They weren't there yet. Well? Then you could have put Hammer in the costume with Salmonella's help. Oh? What did I just say? Did I not just say I wasn't stuffing any bodies into any costumes? You should try to listen to what people are saying, boy. But boy? The witness will continue her testimony. Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct? So he says. Did no one go to call him? Remember. Remember what? There was a dead body lying in front of us, yet you expect me to be calm. You certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder. Wait a second, wouldn't that be the other way around? The other way around. You discovered a murdered body, and one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Miss Fee? Logically speaking, perhaps. But no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without his steel samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. We often let him on the bus when shooting at location. No one noticed he was missing. We often left him on the bus. Well, there we go. Poor Powers. Well, I suppose that explains that. Very well, V, you may continue. He immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. What was everyone else doing at that time? No one said a thing. It was silent, completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry, I'm late. Then, silence. Dead silence. Silence. Hey, Nick. Why is everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up. The security lady, Oldback, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. Oldback? The security lady? Why did the security lady think Powers had done it? She said because she saw him going towards the studio. Right, the steel samurai. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word? Perhaps not. She seems to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all this after the fact. That photograph, meaning the one taken by the security camera. She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer. I don't think there's anything in there I can use. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. You asked to be left out? Yes. It seems that everyone else was questioned, and I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that, since we were in a meeting. There was no way we could have been involved. Thus, they covered for us. Covered for you? Or covered it up for you? There must have been a lot of writing on it, with all those bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure her professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Script and direction notes. Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Stolen by who? I thought you came to Studio One for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? There was a murder, after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? But you didn't know that anyone was murdered until you got to the studio. Why would you leave your stuff behind? Oh yeah, I guess. Very well. Please continue. Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Huh? Exactly. Is he going to say the same thing that I just did? Think. Miss V said that she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to know about the murder before going to Studio One. Exactly. Order, order. Mr. Edgeworth. What you have just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement. However, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss V, do you have an explanation? I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me. So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense. What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well, the witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. How did you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal. He told me. Sal, the director. You have to find something to peg this on her here. Or everything we've done till now will have been wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get them. I knew that Hammer was injured. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, that was Powers. But I already pressed her on this. I think I might have to present this. You knew that Hammer was injured. Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was a Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo. But that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right. He must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss V? You heard Mr. Manella wrong. Or you saw Hammer limping. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manella. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. Who's pretending to be Mr. Powers? Ah. And when he was doing this? Well, it would have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2, where he was murdered. Exactly. Miss V? You met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in the Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Oh. Order, order. I will have order. Witness. Can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. Very well. I have a question for you. Ugh. Why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I'm still going on the thing of like... So in the meeting, on that day, they had stuff about designs for sets, and also seeing how expensive things were. And there's also the matter of, like, they wanted to go in a different direction, because they weren't getting a lot of views or money from the show anymore. And they wanted to change directions into less children's shows. But also, like I said, maybe having a murder happen on the set would, like, get views or something. But then again, not a murder, but someone did die at the studio before and she covered it up. So maybe that part isn't true anymore. But he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, it would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there is a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? Of course I can prove it. Okay, I have proof, and I'll show it to you. I present to the court the evidence as to Miss V's motive for this murder. This, obviously. This is my proof. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? Miss V? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With DeeVa's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, DeeVa, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day, and Mr. Hammer's last role as evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly, it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here, yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed DeeVa, not the other way around. What motive would Miss V have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright? Please explain Miss V's motive for murder. She had no motive. Obviously. You don't have to have a motive. Maybe it just happens. She had no motive, Your Honor. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss V did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss V. What? 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 Your Honor. Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jackhammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the steel samurai costume. Jackhammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then Jackhammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill DeeVa, and who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all these years. Oh. So you did do it, didn't you? Yes. I am guilty. It was me. Someone call an ambulance! There's blood everywhere, we're too late. Ah, Miss V. What? What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel! Miss V, please try to remain calm. No, how could this? It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No! Manuel! Don't touch him, Miss V. No! Please don't die. Manuel? Please. Manuel. I'll say however I want. This is my stream. This is my game. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose again. Mr. Edgeworth, where is Vasquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor. As calm and collected as ever. Why bother covering of self-defense? That's a good point. I see. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? It appears you have brought about yet another miracle. I thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, not a miracle. Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty! We've done it again! That is all. This court is adjourned. Defendant lobby number 3. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss V, but to think that he tried to frame me for the murder, it makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Huh? Tell me. Why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? I don't know, dude, but you win. I guess we'll never know. Yes, of course. Whew, I'm not sure I wanted to go down that road. Congratulations, WP. Oh. Thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and... It's been cancelled. Is something wrong? No, of course not. Ah! Nick! Edgeworth! He looks pissed. Say something, right? I'm not good at small talk. Huh? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste time gloating, do you? No, I really want to thank you. V would have gone away with it if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar. Right. I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better if we had not met. Thanks to you, I am saddled with unnecessary feelings. Unnecessary feelings? Yes, unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. Is that a threat? My god, they were roommates.
Are you sure about that?
I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate.
Mr. Wright? Was that guy your friend? What? Friends? As if. They're rivals. Rivals, right, Nick? For now we are, I guess. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick, tell me, what's the deal with you and Edgeworth? And so the curtain closed on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kids shows again. Pink Princess. Nick! This is it! The new show starts today. You're going to watch it with me, right? I'll admit, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd go seriously through with it. You have to buy training cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant. Fine, fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? Wait, how is he fitting in that suit? That's my question. I wonder if they'll show his real face this time. I don't know. I can fix him, Phoenix? Oh no. I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. Wait, so who's fitting in that suit? The end. We've done it. Turnabout Samurai. We've done it. Turnabout Goodbyes. What does that even mean? Brand new episode has been added. Alright. I guess the next time that I stream this game, we were going to start episode 4. Sounds good to me. We're going to start a brand new trial. Thanks for watching so far. I hope you're enjoying it.